Oh, hello Zainab. Zainab, am I audible to you? Zainab, please confirm if I'm audible. Hello. Zainab, are you there? Zainab, hello. Zainab, are you there? Am I audible to you now? Zainab, if there is some problem with your mic, kindly let me know in the chat section. Zainab, please confirm if you're there or not. Zainab, am I audible to you now? Zainab, kindly confirm so that we can start the session at least. Then I'm waiting. Kindly respond if I'm audible to you, or let me know in the chat section if there's some problem with your mic. All right. So in that case, I think we'll have to wait for other student to join. Shifa will be joining us at 10 o'clock. So if you have doubt in the meantime, you can ask me your doubts, or else we can recall everything if you want. Do let me know whatever that you want. Whether you want me to recall everything, whether you have any doubt, at least let me know in the chat section or do speak, please. Zainab, kindly confirm if I'm audible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, finally. So you were on mute, or is there some problem with your mic? Because I've been waiting for last around 10 15 minutes. You were not speaking at all. Not able to hear you, Zainab.
Sir, I was on mute.
You was on mute, but your mic shows me it was unmuted. Anyway, so yeah, Prerna is not joining today, and Chipa will be joining us at 10 o'clock. So let's continue. So in the last session, Zainab, we were discussing about the ratio analysis, and while covering the ratio analysis, we have already covered the liquidity ratio. Then we also understood the activity ratio, right? So if you have any doubt and question relating to the activity ratio or the solvency ratio, you can ask me your doubt. Otherwise, we'll move to the next topic. Just kindly confirm if you have any doubt or not.
No, sir, I don't
You
have
want to
any
ask?
doubt.
You don't have any doubt. I've given you a few questions for the homework as well. So have you tried those questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. So just give me 2 minutes. I'll start the session with a new topic. Just a second. 2 minutes. All right, Janet. So just a minute. Could you please remind me which ratio we were doing in the last class before we ended the session? Which ratio we were discussing? I think we already covered the, as far as I'm able to recall, I think we already understood inventory turnover ratio.
Yeah, we did this one.
Okay, so I might have given you a few questions for the homework as well, which you are saying that you have no problem with that. So before moving forward, let's just do one thing. Let's do question number 44. I want you to try this question first, and then I'll do it for you if you are not able to solve it. And in the meantime, I guess Shifa will also be able to join us more, probably. Or
Okay, sir.
Prerna will be joining. None, Jana? But still solving it?
Yes, sir, done.
So you got the answer, na? Got the answer? Right answer is 5.
Yes, I got 5 times.
Okay. Okay, so no one is, I think, is joining because of some reason. Anyway, so we'll start with this topic, the trade receivable turnover ratio. See, this is also part of the activity turnover ratios. We have 4 ratios under the activity turnover ratio. This is one of those ratio. Trade receivable turnover ratio, you already know, I think, the formula of it, right? We have already wrote the formula in the previous session. If you could please, if you could please tell me the formula for the trade receivable turnover ratios, and please tell me the formula for the trade receivable turnover ratio. You must have written the formula, na?
Yes, sir, I have.
So tell me. Tell me the formula.
Accounts receivable turnover ratio equal to net credit sales
Hmm.
divided by average accounts receivable.
Yes, net credit sales divided by average trade receipt.
Trade receivables.
All right. Now, see, most of the time net credit sales will be there in the questions, right? But if it is not there in the question, so in order to find out the net credit sales, what we'll do? We'll simply take the value of the total sales and subtract the amount of cash sales out of it and sales return. And we'll get the value of the net credit sales. Okay. So let's quickly do a question based on it so that the concept regarding it can get more clear. So we'll start with question number 45. It says credit revenue from operation, that is net credit sales is 12 lakh. Debtors is given, bills receivable is there, and the trade receivable turnover ratio is to be calculated. So I'm doing this for you, and I want you to try the next question. Okay. So this is solution to question number 45. So first of all, the first thing that we require is the net credit sales. Net credit sales is already there in the question, right? Now it's 12 lakh. Then apart from this, average trade receivable is also there. Debtors is there and bills receivable is there. So debtor plus bills receivable equals to average trade receivable 1,20,000 plus 80,000. Answer will be 6 times. Understood? Is it clear, everybody? Oh, I'm sorry. Zainab, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Kindly note this down quickly. Just tell me when you are done.
Done, sir.
All right. Now we'll do the next question, and I'll be doing this for you as well. Question number 46. It says calculate trade receivable turnover ratio. Sundry debtors and bills receivable, provision for doubtful debt is given. Opening and closing values of all these items are given. Okay, and then total sales, sales return, cash sales is given. Considering all these information, we will be calculating the trade receivable turnover ratio. First of all, as usual, we'll start with the formula. Trade receivable turnover ratio formula is net credit sales divided by average trade receivables. All right, and net credit sales can be calculated by subtracting sales return and cash sales from the total sales, right? So 1 lakh minus 1500 minus 23,500. So total sales is 1 lakh. Out of it, we'll subtract the cash sales, which is 23,500, and we'll subtract the sales return as well, which is 1500. This way, we'll get the value of the net credit sales. And in the denominator, we need average trade receivables. But average trade receivable is not given in the question. So for that, we will have to make an extra working note. So let me make an extra working note here. And the formula for finding out the trade receivable, what we'll first of all take the value of the sundry debtor. We'll find out the average sundry debtor, everybody. Average sundry debtors. Find out the average sundry debtor. What we'll take the opening and closing balances of the sundry debtor, add them both, 28,000 plus 25,000 closing balance, and then divide it by 2. So this will be 28 plus 25 will be 43,000. Right now, I'm sorry, 53,000. Right, divided by 2. So this will be 26,500. Average bill is 26,500. And similarly, we'll find out the average bills receivables as well. Equals to, again, opening bills receivable, closing bills receivable. 7,000 plus 15,000 divided by 23,500. No. This is 22,000 divided by 2, so we'll get 11,000. Right? And now to find out the average trade receivable, what we'll do, we'll simply add both these values. Average trade receivables will add 26,500 plus 11,000, so it will be 37,500. This is our average trade receivable. And now we will put this value here. So subtracting 23,500 and 1,500 out of 1 lakh, we'll get 75,000. And divided by 47,500. Our answer will be 2 times. This is the answer. Understood? Is this clear? Dana, is this
Yes,
clear to
it's
you?
clear.
And do you want me to show the working note section? Tell me if you have written this down or not.
Yes, sir, I have.
You already wrote it. Okay. Okay then. So this was question number 45 and 46. Okay, I think for question number 47, I will have to solve it for you as well. So question number 47. Please read the question one. What does this say? It says closing trade receivable 90,000, revenue from operation 7,20,000. Cash revenue from operation is 1,80,000. Provision for doubtful debt is there. Calculate trade receivables. We need to find out trade receivable turnover ratio. As usual. So applying this formula, trade receivable turnover ratio. Formula is net credit sales divided by average trade receivables. Okay. Now see, it says closing trade receivable is given in the question. Revenue from operation 720, out of which cash revenue from operations 1,80,000. So if you want to get the value of the net credit sale, what we can do, we can simply subtract out of 7,20,000 minus 1,80,000. This will give us net credit sales. And dividing it by average trade receivable, right? Because the opening trade receivable is not given. So whatever the trade receivable given in the question, that will be treated as the average trade receivable. So closing trade receivable will itself be called average trade receivable. Now, subtracting 1,80,000 out of 7,20,000, we will be getting how much? 7 and then 6. So I think we'll be getting 5,40,000 divided by 90,000. Answer will be 6 times. Understood? Is this clear?
Yes, sir. But sir, I have one doubt.
Uh-huh.
In the question, closing trade receivables is given. And if the opening trade receivables will be given, it will be also considered as average trade receivables.
Yeah, see, if only opening trade receivable will be there, no closing trade receivable is given, then also it will be considered as the average trade receivable. And same goes if the closing trade receivable is given, no opening is given, then same will be treated as the average trade receivable. But if both the values are given, if opening and closing both are given, then in order to find out the average, we will have to add both of them and then we'll be dividing it by 2. Understood?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. So this was question number 47, and I want you to try question number 48 on your own.
Done, sir.
You got the answers, Anna?
Yes,
Got
sir.
the answer? 6?
Yeah, 6
All right.
times.
So, okay. All right, so let's do one thing. Take this screenshot of question number 49. I'm giving this question as a homework, please. Question number 49. I'm giving it as a homework. And we'll try to do question number 50. Done with the screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll do question number 50. This is little difficult comparing with the previous question based on the trade receivable turnover ratio. And I want you to try this first. Okay, I'll be doing it if you are not able to solve it anyways, but I want you to try this. Yeah, this is comparatively difficult, so you have to be very attentive while solving. Please try. Is that clear enough? And
Yes,
if
sir.
you have any difficulty while solving it, do let me know. I'm right here. Done, Zainab?
No, sir. Sir, I'm not getting the answer.
You're not getting the answer.
No.
No problem. I'll try. I'll be solving this for you. Yeah, this is a difficult question comparing with all the previous questions that we did. And in order to solve this question, you have to apply the previous the concept that we have studied regarding the COGS, if you're able to recall. Anyway, so let's start. First of all, since this question requires us to find out the opening and closing trade receivable, and this time the trade receivable turnover ratio is already given in the question. All right, and you know what? Average opening and closing trade receivable can only be calculated by applying the formula of the average trade receivable. Right now, average trade receivable equal to, what is the formula for it? It is opening trade receivables, right? I'm using the short forms. Opening TRs and closing TR. Closing trade receivable. Dividing it by 2, we will get the value of the average trade receivable. But the thing is that opening and closing trade receivable should be calculated. Okay. Good thing is that trade receivable turnover ratio is given. Okay. And cash revenue from operation is one third of the credit revenue. Cost of revenue from operation is also given. Gross profit is 25% of the revenue from operation. So let's start this question. Let's first of all start with the formula of the trade receivable turnover ratio. Everything that I'll be doing, this is all working mode. This is our main working. Everything else that I'll be doing will be part of the work. So in our first working mode, what I'll do, I'll just apply the formula of inventory, the trade receivable turnover ratio. Just stop me whenever you are not able to understand it. Trade receivable turnover ratio. The formula for this is net credit sales divided by average trade receivable. Right. Now, see, we already have the trade receivable turnover ratio given in the question, which is 3 times. Okay. And net credit sales is not given in the question. So first of all, to find out the net credit sale, what we'll do? Let's leave everything here. First of all, try to find out the net credit sales. For that purpose, I'll have to make another working note number 2. And in that working note, I'll apply the formula of COGS, cost of goods sold, equals to, do you remember the formula? Net sales minus the, tell me, COGS equals to net sales minus cost profit. Right, Dana?
Yes, sir.
Right now is okay. So you're able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So cost of goods sold is already given in the question by the name of cost of revenue from operation. 3 lakh. We can write that here. This is only cost of goods sold. And let's take net sales equals to X. Let's take the value of net sale equals to X. So 3 lakh equals to, in place of net sales, we can write down X, right? And gross profit is what? Gross profit is 25% of revenue from operation. That means 25% of sales, 25% of X. Can we say that? Can we write it this way? X minus
Yes, sir.
25% of X. So this can further be simplified and written as 3 lakh equals to X minus 0.25X. 25% of X will be 0.25X. And adding 1X and 0.25X will get 1.25X. And on the left hand side of the equation, we will be having the value of 3 lakh. Now dividing 3 lakh by 1.25, we will get the value of the X, right? So let me just calculate it. Which will be 3 lakhs divided by 1.25. We'll get 2,40,000. 2,40,000. Now this, you just tell me what is this? 2,40,000 is what? This is the value of the, tell me.
Net sales.
Yes, this is the value of the net sales. But do we actually need the value of the net sales as per, in order to solve the question? No, net sales is not required. We want the net credit sales, right? Why? Because in order to apply the net trade receivable turnover ratio formula, we will be required to find out the net credit sales. We got the net sales, I mean the net total sales. Now what we can do moving forward, see, first adjustment given in the question is cash revenue from operation is 1/3 of the credit revenue from operation. It means that the cash sales is 1/3 of the credit sales. All right. So now let's assume, now let's assume credit sales equal to X, right? And it says in the question that, so you know that net sales is calculated by adding the cash as well as the credit sales, right? You already know that, na? Net sales is
Yes,
calculated
sir.
simply by adding the cash sales and the credit sales. Okay, so if the net sales is 2,40,000, and we already presume that the credit sale is equal to X, and cash sale is given in the question that it says cash revenue from operations one third of credit revenue. That means one third of X. One third of X will be 0.33X. Or yeah, so X plus 0.33X, right? And this will be equal to 2,40,000. Now calculating X, we will get 2,40,000 divided by 1.33. So 2,40,000 divided by 1.33, we will get the value of the total sale. Just a second. Am I making some mistake? Just a second. Okay. So do it like this. We did it right, but because of some reason I'm getting the value in decimals. So anyways, 2,40,000 equals to, this is 1x, right? And this is 1 by 3x. So x plus 1 by 3x equals to, this can be done like this, 3, and this will be 3 plus 1 x. So this is 4 by 3x, right? And this can also be written as 4 by 3. Now, if we calculate it, 2,40,000 into 3, we will get 7,20,000, and then we will divide it by 4 equals to x. We will get 1,80,000. So this is 1,80,000 is what? Then 1,80,000 is what?
Credit net sales.
Credit sales. Net credit sale, you can also call it. Net credit sales. This is what we wanted. Now, net credit sales can be put in the formula. We can put this value here, 1,80,000, right? And we'll cross multiply it. Average trade receivables will be 60,000. Can we see that? Or no? 60,000, yes or no?
How, sir?
Okay. You understood that net credit sales will be 1,80,000. Understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what we did, we just cross multiplied. We took the value of average trade receivables here, right? And divided 1,80,000 by 3. Can we do that? Okay. Let me make it more clear. That's just, so this is our equation, na? In order to simplify it, can I also write this as average trade receivables equal to 1,80,000 divided by 3. Can we write it this way?
Yes, sir.
Then yes, na. So now, if you divide 1,80,000 by 3, we will get 60,000. Yes or no? You understood this?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. This is what we wanted. Average trade receivable we got. Now, let's come to the main working mode. In our main working mode, we got the value of the average trade receivable as 60,000. But on the other hand, we want to figure out the value of the opening trade receivable and closing trade receivable. But now focus upon the question. It says at the in the last information, it says trade receivable at the end are 3 times more than that in the beginning, right? So what we can do, can we presume the opening trade receivable equals to X? Then we say opening trade receivable is equal to X and closing trade receivable is 3 times of X. That is what question says. Trade receivable at the end are 3 times more than in the beginning. Can we say that? Divided by 2. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we need to do, we'll simply cross multiply it. So this will be 1,20,000 equals to 4x, I guess. Right? So X value of X will be 1,20,000 divided by 4. Just a second. The receivables are at the end 3 times more than that in the beginning. Na? So I think it should be written as if in the beginning, just a second, I think I made a mistake. If we are assuming that in the beginning it is X and closing value of the trade receivable is 3 times more than X. So 3 times more than X means this. This should be the equation. So 3 times more than X. Let's wait, let me finish it and then check out whether we are getting the right answer or not. So 1,30,000 and X. So 1,20,000 divided by X plus 3 times. I'm getting 30,000 as the opening trade receipt. And in that case, closing trade receivable will be 90,000. Closing trade receivables will be 3 times of 30,000. That means 90,000. Is this clear, Zainab? My answer is not telling. I think I'm made a mistake somewhere.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Just a second. It's clear, no? But my answer is not. We are not getting the answer. Opening trade receivable we are getting is 40,000 and closing trade receivable is 1,60,000. How it could be possible? If it is opening trade receivable is 40,000 and closing trade receivable is 1,60,000. Let's just check. We wrote everything right. Net credit sales 1,80,000. That value here, net credit sales, just a second. Yeah, so this is 60,000 and 16 to 1,20,000. It says in the question, let's take it this way that if, just a second, let's assume that the opening trade receivable is X and closing trade receivable is 3 times more than that in the beginning. So X plus 3X divided by 20. This should be the equation. So X plus is 5X, 4X is 5X equal to 1,20,000. No, we won't be, we cannot get 40,000 as the answer. No, no, no. Our answer is right, I guess. 30,000 and the 90,000 is the right answer. You've already written it down, na, Zainab? You already wrote this?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. I'll recheck the answer and will confirm it in the next session. As far as I did it, I think I did it right. But I'll have to check the textbook. But anyways, so this was the question number 50. Okay, and all right. So now let's move to the next concept, which is trade table turnover ratio. And trade table turnover ratio is also very much similar to the trade receivable turnover ratio. Then, under the trade table turnover ratio, the formula will be instead of net credit sales, we will be writing net credit purchases divided by, instead of average trade receivable, we will be doing average trade payables. I already wrote you. I have already given you the formula for it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, so let's do question number 51, and I want you to try this. This question is pretty much similar to the question that we just did. Like this is the question that we did. Na? Question number 46. We did this question and we calculated trade receivable turnover ratio. We need to do question number 51, which is almost similar to the question number 46, but this time we need to find out the average trade payable turnover ratio and also average debt payment period. So how do we calculate average debt payment period? I'll let you know. You just calculate trade payable turnover rate. I'll do it. I'll do the average debt payment period for you. Do it quickly.
Done, sir.
Got the right answer, na?
Yes, sir. 3 months.
Okay. So now, in order to find out the average debt payment period, what we'll do, Zainab, formula to find out the average debt payment period. So whether we want to calculate the answer in terms of month, week, or days, the average debt payment period can be calculated either in terms of week, it can also be calculated in terms of months, and it can also be calculated in terms of days. So depending upon in what, I mean, whether we want the answer in terms of week, month, or days, we will be applying the formula. Like in this question, answer is given in terms of month. So that means we can apply the formula by the, I mean, in order to find out the answer in terms of month, what we'll do is we'll take the total number of months in a year. How many months are there? 12 months, right? And we'll simply divide it by the trade payable turnover ratio that we have got. So 12 months and trade payable turnover ratio that you must have got is 4 times, right? So 12 divided by 4 will be 3 months. This way you'll get the answer in terms of month. But if question requires you to find out the answer in terms of week instead of month, see if question is silent, whether silent about the average debt payment period, so in that situation you will always calculate it in terms of month. In all other situation, it will specifically provide you in the question. If question wanted you to calculate in terms of week, so in that case, what you will do, you'll just put 52 weeks in the numerator and divide it by the trade payable turnover ratio. Why 52? Because there are 50 weeks in a year. And similarly, if question requires you to calculate the average at payment period in terms of days, so you will put the 360 days in the numerator and then apply the formula and calculate the answer in terms of days. And whatever the answer that you'll be getting, you'll just use days. Like for example, if you divide 360 by 4, you'll get 90. That will be 90 days. All right, understood? Is this clear to you? Stand up.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear. So this is how we calculate average debt payment. And similarly, if question requires you to find out the average debt collection period instead of payment period, so in that case, what we'll do, we'll simply divide it by debt total, sorry, trade receivable turnover ratio instead of trade payable turnover. Okay, so I hope you understood everything that we discussed in today's session. I'm giving you a few questions for the homework to try. Since you have already understood trade receivable turnover ratio, so I'm sure that you will be able to do question based on average trade table turnover ratio as well. Kindly take a screenshot of these questions. Question number 52.
Done, sir.
Question number 53 as well. Also take the screenshot.
Sir.
The next question. Question number 54. Done.
Done, sir.
And question number 55. All these questions are similar, very much similar to the previous concept that we discussed, trade receivable turnover ratio. So if the concept regarding the trade receivable turnover ratio is clear to you, I'm sure you will be able to do these questions as well. And if by chance you are having difficulty solving this question, don't forget to ask me in the next session.
Okay, sir.
Done. So this is it. Apart from this, we have one more ratio under the activity ratio that we will be covering in the next class, which is working capital turnover ratio. Once we are done with the working capital turnover ratio, we will be able to start the next ratio, which is profitability ratio in this chapter. That is going to be the last ratio that we need to discuss in the chapter. After that, we'll be able to finish the chapter. Okay.
Okay,